Here on Couch Coach Live, another Wednesday night under the lights here on Couch Coach Live. What's going on, fellas?
Shit.
What's going on, Coach? What's up, Mal?
Chilling. What's up, X? Gonna give it to you.
All right.
Can you hear me, Coach? We good?
All right.
All right.
Yeah. I think there's a delay on my end.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on my end. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we're back here. The internet's acting a little wonky over here, but we're back at it. So we're gonna kick off our 12th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview. So we're gonna start with the West. So we'll start with the AFC and the NFC West. So we'll be talking Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos, LA Chargers, the San Francisco 49ers, LA Rams, Arizona Cardinals, and the Seattle Seahawks. So without further ado, fellas, let's talk about, let's see, now taking a sweet time, and I don't know what's going on with this internet, but we're going to start with the AFC West, as we just talked about momentarily. So we'll discuss, I don't know what on earth is going on with this internet, man. All right.
Well, so X, this is your first Couch Coach Live preview, huh?
Yes, sir.
So you excited? You excited?
Oh yeah.
That's great. Man, how was your weekend, man?
Oh man, it wasn't bad at all. Was at the Henrico Sports Complex watching AAU basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't make the boxing event that they had in Richmond, but I went to my very first Squirrels game. It was a tribute to veterans, and the baseball team was providing jerseys to veterans or people to represent veterans that had passed. So it was real cool, real family oriented. You know what I mean? It's my first time ever been. I ain't been to a baseball game. Me and Coach went to one, I think in North Dakota, maybe, and a minor league game there. And then we went. I hadn't been to a major league. I went to one major league one, and that was to see the Cleveland Indians back in like 84, 85. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, them baseball games are like that, especially when you live at the stadium.
Yeah. It was. It's a trip, man, because I think a lot of people at a certain period of time had got kind of it was getting, they really wasn't into the game as much, but then you could just feel that intensity around like the 5th or 6th inning, because I think it was like 5-1 the Squirrels was losing, and you could tell the pitcher was getting extremely tired and fatigued. So he was starting to throw balls a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the bases was loaded, and the Squirrels was just messed up every time. They overthrew first place. they forgot to tag a guy at home place, at home base. It's a trip, you know. And it was just certain details I was paying attention. I was like, I feel like when you running to base, and I'm not, you know, boxing is like my favorite sport, so it's just detailed. It's a certain way you run, and like sometimes I was like, bro, you're not running fast enough because you're using the wrong parts of your feet. You know what I'm saying? Which might sound weird to somebody. You know what I mean? Whereas, oh man, Michael Singletary told Ray Lewis, stop running flat footed. He said, running your tippy toes. You understand what I'm saying? So I was watching him. I was like, bro, I wear a size 13. I never wear a size 13. I used to wear Ewings. I'm still telling dudes I'm sorry from 8th grade for stepping on the back of their heels of these shoes. My bad, yo. They Ewings, baby. Like, you know. So like yeah, man, like I was like, they feet was big, and I was talking to my homeboys and his mother actually. I was like, yeah, they kind of look too stiff. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I got it. But yeah, it was cool though. It was cool. Like, great to take the kids. I really felt like they did a wonderful job at times, really keeping the children engaged.
Oh yeah. They do that a lot. Especially with I can't think of what's the squirrel's mascot name?
You got me, but the kids was going crazy for the girl and the male, like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was really, really, really cool. You know, take you out to the ball games and all that type of stuff. You know, it was, can't complain. My bad.
No, I was about to ask. So what was the boxing event at?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out tomorrow. Yeah, I know it was a guy. Okay, I didn't know the name of it but it was downtown. I'll find out more information tomorrow, and I'll probably talk about it next week. So I'm gonna try to get some insight. Hopefully I seen, but it's co-owner of 6335 Club on Jake Road, and he was telling me about it. So like I said, I hadn't seen any information about it. I know he told me that they were still going to have it, but you know how events go.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Do you like boxing?
Oh yeah. I can't wait for the Bud and Canelo fight.
Yep, and I'm going to Arizona. I got my ticket.
Come on, man.
I'm going to Arizona to watch it with my big homie, and it's crazy because the last time I was there, it was the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd fight. So like it's real big, you know.
Oh yeah.
I think we are back, I guess, for now. We'll see. But yeah, all right. So we'll get going with the NFC. Well, we'll start with the AFC West. We'll talk about essentially the Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Chargers, and the Denver Broncos. So first off, what is your AFC West storyline to watch? And essentially one storyline for each team. I'm gonna go to you first, X. What's your storyline for the 4 teams in the division?
Are we doing it each team?
Yeah. So you said like your storyline for Kansas City, your storyline for Denver, the Chargers, and then Oakland. But no in particular order, but just all 4 teams.
So you want me to go through all 4 teams myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One storyline. Well, the storyline for the Chiefs is, can they maintain their dominance over the division?
Right.
For Denver, it would be, can they win the division? For the Chargers, it would be, can Justin Herbert elevate the Chargers into like a true contender, not just in the division but in the AFC? And for the Raiders, it's pretty much it's pretty much the Pete Carroll's impact and how Geno Smith will play. I mean, he's under Pete Carroll. He played good in Seattle, so I'm expecting him to keep that consistent play under Pete Carroll.
Okay. All right. What's your storylines, Maui?
Definitely same as X. I have are the Chiefs the new Patriots? Are they a dynasty? And that's my storyline is are they gonna stay consecutive of their dominance? Just as much as X said. For the Broncos, I had tied all this stuff together. But for the Broncos, I'm going to say, are they going to win the division? For the Chargers, the storyline to me is the Chargers will their success will be more than last year, and they will make the playoffs. For the Raiders, I got them, rebuild. The Raiders are rebuilding. That's really all I can say about
that. So for Kansas City, it's obvious. Will they have the Super Bowl hangover? Obviously,
Right.
after the loss against
Philly
in last year's Super Bowl. Denver, I'm curious about the running back position. Obviously, losing Javonte Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They actually went to Dallas coincidentally. Now you got RJ Henry. Harvey. So pretty much now you got the running back position is J.K. Dobbins. Him taking over. Just curious how this running back room will be. The Chargers, can Justin Herbert kind of recover from that that playoff game against the Houston, where he had the 4 interceptions and his supporting cast essentially? Will Quentin Johnston be like that number 2 that they really need potentially? So that's going to be a question mark. And then Oakland, I'm curious now. Chip Kelly comes back to the NFL as an offensive coordinator with the Raiders. So I'm curious what they will do with that offense, especially they're real run heavy. So obviously you look at kind of how Ashley Gentry will fit in that offense. So it's going to be interesting what Chip Kelly will bring in what you would consider his third act, essentially kind of his return to the NFL. So yeah, especially coming off of being the OC at Ohio State last year. So I definitely want to see how he kind of now transitions back to the NFL. All right. So
can I say something?
Yeah.
I know we in a hurry. So I had did something different. I really wanted my main storyline was we got 4. I want to see what these 4 Hall of Fame successful coaches is going to do in this division. And I feel like they're all going to be successful. So everything that you said, I kind of wrote a lot of that stuff down. Definitely, I think when we were talking about Justin Herbert, like a lot of people was almost looking like he's a failure as a quarterback, but he's always, especially you, coach, you've always been a supporter of him, and having Harbaugh as a coach now, maybe this is finally the coach that he has to get him over the hump. Like I said, like you say, you made it to the playoffs, but like he really didn't throw a lot of interceptions last year. Like I think he's one of those. I think him and Murray might be one of those guys that people kind of like. The potential's there, and maybe this season coming up is going to be that one.
Yeah, I had a slight critique about him in 2020. Like as far as I really wasn't a Justin Herbert fan. I kind of turned the corner once he kind of had some success, but I wasn't really a Justin Herbert fan initially. Like definitely coming to the 2020 draft, I pretty much flame based him. So it's like, it's
right.
Yeah, so I have changed my tone in the last few years, but it's never been 100% Justin Herbert. I've been in this camp for sure.
Like I said, I know we got to move on. Do you feel like it's been fair for him with everything that he's had to somewhat deal with?
it just comes with the high expectation. I mean, you got your first round pick. I mean, and then you just look at it just from the standpoint of he's been through some rough years. Obviously, Brandon Staley, my guy. I can't believe I drew a blank about their coach because he's running back coach for the Commanders. Oh shucks. Yeah. So you think about those years. So yeah, I mean, this is what his third coach. So yeah, but I still think the expectation for Justin Herbert was high because obviously he was a first round pick, and I think it is fair. And I think especially as you see other quarterbacks have kind of taken that leap. So I think it's fair, and then I think he's right on the projection of what he should be. Like I say, he fell short. He fell short against Houston, which I mean, it's nothing really to be really down about because I mean, this team was they finally kind of reached their potential because I've always, if you go back and you look, I've always had like the Chargers being like at least like a double-digit win team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Forever, and now now they finally living up to it because I've always had them at least like a wild card or winning the division.
Okay.
In the last 5 years, at least 5-6 years, probably. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you've always, and I was like, for real? You serious? Are you sure? Like, you know what I mean?
Talent. The talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just multiple coaches, and it's just it's like I think finally it's a coach that's respectful, is success, and all of them. Pete Carroll, Reed, what's my man for the Broncos? Sean Payton. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at them all. I was like, that's really one of the biggest storylines because I feel like in the NFL right now it's all about having chemistry with your quarterback. The coaches having chemistry with their quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you look at that's one of the main storylines to me also when it comes to this division.
Yeah, see with the Chargers, man, that playoff losses look terrible. Like they blew the big lead against Jacksonville that 1 year, and then Herbert, you said threw 4 interceptions in the game against Houston. So it's kind of like they get. It's like they get to a certain point, and then they plateau, and then they just go downhill.
Was that his first playoff game?
The Jacksonville one,
Jacksonville was the first.
Jacksonville was the first one.
Okay,
because it was him. It was Trevor Lawrence's first playoff
game.
Right. I remember now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's right.
And they were on the road. They were in
both. Jacksonville. There's a
Jacksonville.
There's Jacksonville when it happened.
Right.
Because Jacksonville won the division, remember?
Yeah.
He's no good.
It's because remember because that was just a crazy because they ended up losing. They ended up beating the Texans. I'm not Texas, but the
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, it got in there. Yeah, that was crazy. But all right. So, who is your player to watch in the AFC West? What's your offensive player to watch and your defensive player to watch? I'm gonna go to you first, Mal. Who is your offensive and defensive player to watch?
Offensive. I think because the Raiders, we really don't know their identity. Well, even though they have Chip Kelly, we're gonna be running the ball, so I'm giving it that. The offensive player to watch is Ashton Gentry, and the defensive player I got Tuli. Oh man, I was saying it over and over again so I could get it right. Tuli Tutapatu.
Yeah, I know you're talking about though. I know you're talking
about. With Joey Basso not being there and Kella Mack being there, I think that's going to open the door. And he led the team in sacks last year, so I think that's the player to watch.
All right. X, who is your offensive player to watch and your defensive player to watch in the division?
Offensive player, I kind of deviated from that. I kind of took a whole group. I took the Kansas City's offensive line to see if they have improved because that was the clear weakness on the team. Main reason why they lost the Super Bowl. They did go 15-2, but their offensive line has been a glaring weakness for like the past 2 years, maybe 3. And my defensive player to watch, oh man, I mean he did win Defensive Player of the Year last year. I'm gonna go with PS2 just to see if he can stay consistent with it. I believe that he can and that he will.
Yeah. So offensively, I got Ladd McConkey, wide receiver from the LA Chargers. Last year had a great year, rookie year, 82 receptions, a little over 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. So I think Justin Herbert now has a solid number 1 on that team. The question mark now is who's going to be that second. I know I talked about Quentin Johnston earlier, but they finally have found their wide receiver 1, especially considering the fact in those years of the Keenan Allen days and even the retired now Mike Williams. So now I think they kind of got their potentially their wide receiver core, at least their wide receiver 1 intact for the future. I got who I think could potentially win the defensive player of the year, potentially from your Denver Broncos. Well, not your Denver Broncos, but as you mentioned PS2. But I think Nick Bonito. I think he had a phenomenal year last year, 13 and a half sacks last year for the Denver Broncos team. I definitely think he's going to be someone that I think is going to match that input from last year. I think he's going to be a force for the Denver Broncos defense. Vance Joseph, yet again, I think doing his thing with the defense in Denver. So that's my players to watch. So let's talk about some rookies to watch in here. So we'll go first. And this is your rookie to watch on offense and rookie to watch on defense. I'm gonna go with you first, X. What you got?
Well, the rookie, offensive rookie, I have Ashton Genty. I just feel like he'll be like the bright spot for the Vegas Raiders this season. And defensive rookie, I'm going with I feel like I'm gonna say his name wrong. Jahdae Barron.
Oh yeah, Jahdae. Yeah, Jahdae.
Did I say it right?
Jahdae. Yeah, Jahdae. Okay. Yeah, Jahdae.
Okay. I think him playing on the opposite side of PS2 is going to do wonders for him because he may get matched up against number 1s, but more than likely he'll be matched up against the 2s or the 3s. So I think he'll be someone to watch. I think being in that defensive back room with PS2, he can learn a lot. So I'm expecting that to be the guy. Their secondary is going to be like that.
Yeah. All right. About who's your rookie to watch offense and rookie to watch on defense?
So I'm gonna go Mason Graham. So I'm capping right now. Actually, I'm gonna go offensive tackle Josh Simmons, and let me see. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dante Thornton Jr. for the Raiders. I just feel like with Gentry, did I say his last name right? But Ashton, by him being with Chip Kelly, like they're gonna run the ball. It's you really don't know much what's gonna happen to the Raiders. So I'm gonna say Thornton Jr. the doors will be open for him to catch. Hopefully, I think Weston Gentry gonna be a workhorse. I would have picked him, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna rock with. That's what I'm gonna rock with.
That's what I find funny. I think this could be probably the most slept on rookie running back in the AFC West. In the AFC West. I gotta give it to my nephew, Omarion Hampton. Who you probably see a nice dose of tomorrow in the Hall of Fame game. I definitely think he's going to be and I think it's going to be great for him. That offensive line is phenomenal. I mean, you got Rashad Slater, our guy Mekhi Becton, 15 South Oak Street. Let's go. And I like what I definitely think Omarion Hampton's going to have a breakout season as a rookie. Defensively, like I said, I echo your sentiments. Jahdae Barron, I think he's going to be a phenomenal on that because of the versatility where he has. Obviously, like you talk about, he can play outside. So I definitely think he's going to be someone that's going to play outside, opposite of PS2. You can pretty much have him anywhere. You can have him at the nickel, you can have him at safety, and even hell, you can even potentially put him as a dime linebacker. So it's just that has that versatility. So him having those type of traits, he's gonna be on the field. So I can echo that sentiments with you on that one. So and I said they have some hot takes, and it don't have to be. We're not gonna be like in the shock value thing, but just your overall hot takes. They could be mild, they could be spicy, they could be even cold, ice cold takes, anything. So, what are some just your hot takes for the AFC West? I'm gonna go with you first, X. What's your hot take?
The AFC West will have 3 teams representing them in the playoffs.
Okay. All right, what you got, Maui?
The AFC West will have 3 teams in the playoffs. Yeah, man. I think they're gonna have 3 teams in the playoffs, man. Okay. And I think I think they're gonna have 3 teams in the playoffs. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna have. So I think history gonna repeat itself with the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs when they lost essentially 4 years ago to Tampa Bay, the next season everybody was thinking they were going to come back and kind of run it back. I think the same fate is going to happen to Kansas City in 2025. I don't think they will make the Super Bowl. I actually have them as a loser in the divisional round. So I don't even think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to make the AFC Championship game. Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah. Because I did the record prediction. I did all of it. So I got all like my playoff teams and what have you. They got a tough test in the divisional round. And I don't think they're gonna make it out. I think they make it out the wild card, but they're gonna have a tough team coming to Arrowhead. And
who's that?
We'll talk about it in August 4 weeks from now? August 27th? I forgot what day.
All right.
We'll talk about August 27th. We'll talk about August 27th. August 27th. So just the appointment television for that one.
Right.
So let's do our record predictions. So basically how you'll do it is pretty much the best record to the worst record. I'm gonna go with you first, X. What is your predictions?
Denver Broncos 12-5, and they will win the AFC West. Kansas City at 11-6. The Chargers at 10-7. The Vegas Raiders at 8-9.
Okay, it's not bad. All right, what you got, Maui?
I got the Broncos winning the division at 14-3. I got the Chargers at 12-5. I got Kansas City at 11-6, and I got the Raiders at 6-11.
All right. So I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning the division at 13-4. I think that's fair. I got the LA Chargers at 10-7, and they will be one of my wild cards. The Denver Broncos at 9-8, and the Las Vegas Raiders at 7-10. Yeah. So that wraps up the AFC West. Let's talk about the NFC West, and this is the San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Rams. So, all right, let's see. All right. So in the NFC West, what is your storyline for each team? I'm gonna go with you first, Maui. What you got?
Storyline. The storyline I got for the Rams is, are they the true same thing as the case? Are they true dominant team of the division? I think I'm saying that because I thought it would be the 49ers, but they are the team that won the Super Bowl. But I think majority of this division, it seemed like it's injury prone. Like there's always some injuries that kind of hurt their success in some way. So that's my storyline for the Rams, the Seahawks. Let me see. The Seahawks. They were 10-7 last week. So I got the Seahawks are they going to lose their momentum and be at the bottom of the division? Then the Cardinals, I got them. I got the Cardinals saying, is Kyler Murray going to be able to take the next step? And then I have the 49ers. Since Brock Purdy, since Brock Purdy has gotten paid and a lot of losing Debo, will he have the same success that he's had, even with a lot of his players coming from having injuries?
All right, what you got, X?
For the 49ers, I have two. It's, can they bounce back from a disappointing last season, and can Brock Purdy take his game to the next level? For the Rams, I have, can they dominate the NFC West? For the Seahawks is can Sam Darnold repeat what he did last year, or was last year just a fluke? And for the Cardinals, is this Kyler Murray's last stand as starting quarterback?
That's a possibility. And before we get started, huge shout out to our guy Sajin. What's good? Hashtag Seahawks. So, some storylines to watch. San Francisco, like you said, X, the bounce back after 6-11 season. Now bringing in Robert Saleh, coming back as defensive coordinator. So I'm really curious about that and the health of the 2023 Offensive Player of the Year, and Christian McCaffrey returns. We will assume it healthy, but we shall see. Seattle. I think we have a nice marriage that's about to brew in Seattle with Clint Kubiak as the offensive coordinator, and now bringing in Sam Bradford, and then also a former Super Bowl MVP in Cooper Kupp. So I'm really curious how that relationship will go. Obviously, they got rid of their former offense coordinator. Now Clint Kubiak is into the frame. I know we talked about him last year. He was a part of the early on success for the New Orleans Saints last year. And the Rams, they're another team. I was like, can the Rams be contenders this year? Obviously, and when I look at kind of last year, how they kind of came along, and then obviously, I think, in my personal opinion, they're the only team I think that really gave Philly fits between them and like Green Bay potentially in the playoff run. So I definitely think they had an opportunity to potentially beat Philly. And then Arizona. Gannon, his third year at the helm with this team. Essentially, he's on the hot seat. He's one of those guys where I definitely think if this team doesn't make any leaps and bounds, that we can see him potentially be, potentially a Black Monday casualty. If that's the same, but yeah. And this is the 7th year of Kyler Murray, which is very interesting to think that he's been there for 7 seasons. It don't even feel like it's been that long.
No,
But it's crazy. So, fellas, let's talk about our offensive player. Players to watch, offensive and defensive for the NFC West. I'm gonna go with you first, X. Who is your offensive and defensive player to watch in the NFC West?
offensive player, I'm going with Kyler Murray.
Mm.
Because, like we said, this season is like a make it or break it if he's going to remain a Cardinal or not. In defensive, I want to see uh, Jared Verse. For some reason I was about to call him Jared Queen, but Jared Verse. That's what I want to see. I want to see, can he either replicate or take it up another notch from his rookie season.
Yeah, he got a little Patrick Queen in him, though. You know, he got a little dog in him, a little Patrick Queen in him.
Oh yeah, he got some dog in him.
All right, Mel, who's your offensive and defensive player to watch in the NFC West? My bad.
I don't know what it is about me and X. Something going on, but I wanted to say Kyle Murray because I think he is the one to watch, but I said Harrison Jr. Like last 62 receptions, 885 yards, 8 TDs. I just feel like if you I'm looking up rookies because I didn't write rookies down in the division, and they drafted a lot of players on the defense. So I think they believe if we can get our defense up, the Cardinals I'm talking about, then they got the receiver they want, they got the quarterback they want. They actually put up a lot of points. It's just that I think he's going to step up this season.
Yeah. I think offensively, I'm gonna go with Ricky Pearsall. He's one where I think he's interesting. Obviously, he came on strong at the end. Obviously, we know what happened at the beginning of last year. He missed time due to the situation, and now he was essentially, in my personal opinion, he was like the Debo replacement. So now he kind of steps into it. Now he'll have an increased role. Him and also and also Jennings. They'll be, 1 and 2 there, especially now with Ayuk is still on the PUP list. So I think, coming off of kind of the last 2 games where I think he had like 2 touchdowns in those last 2 games. So I definitely want to see how he will be, in this offense for San Francisco. Defensively, I got to go with a former Richmond Spider in Kobe Turner by way of Wake Forest with the Rams. 8 sacks last season. He's another one where I think he's gonna emerge yet again. You talk about like especially coupled with a guy like a Jared Verse on that line. It's not a line as far as Jared Verse is concerned on that defense. And they're another team where we really talk about like an offensive other Rams, but we gotta think about they have a tremendous defense as well as you kind of couple with your Jared Verse tape, and then now coupled with Kobe Turner, man, those are some stalwart. Those are some dogs,
right?
Yeah. So let's shift the focus to rookies, fellas. So, who is your offensive rookie to watch and your defensive rookie to watch? I'm gonna call you first, Mal. Who is your offensive and defensive rookies to watch?
Offensive line, I'm stretching because I'm capping a little bit, but from what the stuff I watched today, one thing about Seattle, they've always had issues with the offensive line. And so I'm going to give it to Gray Zabel, guard round. He was drafted in round 1, a versatile blocker who can play guard and center. So I think with the Seahawks, this is not the same team as last year. You know what I mean? Like last year, they had a lot of new things going on. So I think that's the beginning of the start is fixing their offensive line. And then defense, man, let me see. I had a dude. I'm gonna go. Where is this? There we go. Um, like I said, I'm capping. I'm gonna go with Ty Hamilton, the defensive tackle, round 5. Was drafted round 5, powerful run stopper who can quickly play a supporting role on the defensive line. And the reason I'm saying that too is because they just signed Matthew Stafford, and the Rams is actually revamping in a more mature way. So a lot of their situations is a lot of the old is leaving and a lot of news coming in. So I'm what's my man's name? Ty Hamilton.
Okay. All right, X, who you got?
Offensive rookie, I'm going with tight end Terrence Ferguson.
I was going to pick him.
I feel like him being lined up with Nakua and Devontae Adams, I think he'll get a decent amount of targets. I think he's going to be a matchup nightmare for any linebacker. And my defensive rookie, I'm going to go with Shamar Stewart, defensive end. I feel like he's going to bring some noise, and he's also going to help. It's going to help take all the focus off of Nick Bosa.
All right. Offensively, I'm gonna raise you another tight end. I'm with Elijah Arroyo, from Miami. Very interesting because obviously they just got rid of Noah Fant the other day, so it's kind of interesting. Like it kind of lets you know, like okay, maybe they see something in him because they're kind of similar. So it's kind of one of the things where I definitely think that they could potentially see that, like him, making the reins, as far as making pretty much him being a replacement for Noah Fant. And I think my rookie to watch is going to be another Den. I'm gonna stick with sticking to my guns. Michael Williams, defensive end from Georgia. At this point, you cannot go wrong with a Georgia defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at that from that standpoint, and you just look at it from that standpoint. Now, coupled with now bringing in Robert Saleh on that defense, I definitely think he's going to be one of those ones where when we look at those guys from Georgia that will make an immediate impact, he's a kind of my personal opinion, he's the plug and play guy for the San Francisco 49ers team. And I definitely think he could be someone that maybe on the August 27th episode that he might be defensive rookie of the year, but we shall see. I hold my horses on that one. So let's talk about our hot take for the NFC West. A hot take. I'm gonna go with you first, X. Your hot take for the NFC West.
A hot take is hot take is that the NFC West this season will become the most competitive division in the NFC.
Okay. All right, Mal, who's your hot take for the NFC West?
My hot take, this is just cap. My hot take is the 49ers fail, and everybody that was negative about Brock Purdy getting his money was right. I'm capping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm capping.
Yeah. So I think Sam Darnold is not a one-hit wonder.
Oh, that is a hot joint right there.
I think Sam Darnold has found the right place for him. Like I said, I'm really high. Like I talked about it in the storyline. I definitely think this Clint Kubiak, Sam Darnold dynamic is going to work wonders, and I definitely think he has some great weapons. Obviously, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. And let me make sure I made sure I said it right because it can go left real quick. So, and then obviously with who's the other wide receiver that they got? I talk about Jackson Smith and then also Cooper Kupp. So I definitely think that I know a lot of people are looking at like, oh man, Jalen Milroe is gonna probably take that spot. Not necessarily. This isn't a Flynn and Russell Wilson situation. I think Sam Darnold's legit.
Okay.
I think Sam Darnold is going to have. I think he may not have a Minnesota type of year, but I think he's going to play very well in this offense. And yeah, Sam Darnold. He may not be Sam Darnold against USC in the Rose Bowl, but he gonna cook for sure. So let's do our record prediction, fellas, for the West. For the NFC West. We'll go with you first, X. Your records prediction. What you got?
I got the Rams finishing 12-5, winning the NFC West. The 49ers finish 11-6. I got Seattle at 9-8, and I have Arizona at 8-9.
All right, what you got, X? I mean, Lord. What you got, Mallory? I won't even look.
That hurt my feelings. I just want you to know that.
I won't look. My bad. I won't look.
You good? I got the Rams because part of my hot take was Rams showed that they are dominant, but I got the Rams 14-3. I got the Cardinals at 11-6. I got the 49ers at 10-7, and I got the Seahawks at 9-8. I didn't read this part of my hot take. I'm sorry. Because, the 49ers got the easiest, they say one of the easiest schedules. For them to fall down to 3, it really made them look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were horrible last year. But so I got the Rams at 12-5, and actually they are my number 1 seed in the NFC. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
12, so it'd be time for 12 of them. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Yeah. There's a couple of teams that could be 12-5, but I think they're gonna have the best record at 12-5.
Wow.
So I got the 49ers at 10-7, a wild card. The Seahawks at 8-9, and then also the Cardinals at 8-9. And I think that might be enough to keep Jonathan Gannon for maybe one more year. I don't know, but we shall see. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that wraps up the West, and yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be really intriguing to kind of how everything kind of plays out. But yeah, these are 2 good divisions, and yeah, it's gonna be definitely fun to watch for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I want success for Kyle Murray. Like watching him, when you watch his highlights, you be like, man, he makes football so fun. Mm-hmm. I hope that somehow that they can win some games again. I think the NFL needs him to do well too, so he can get in the playoffs. Like I think he would be, for him, especially with his height and how he play. I think it'd be a great marketing for the NFL. I hope that he do well, don't get hurt. You know what I'm saying, and be able to show some dominance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he got some weapons. That's a good thing with him.
Right.
He got some weapons, so everything kind of needs to hopefully come together for him. So
I mean, I really do. I really with Harrison Jr. I really wish they make like a really good move and we could see them in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they were to sneak into the playoffs, I think they can make some noise. I'm not gonna say make noise, but I think they can scare whoever they're playing.
Yeah, I just hope so, because I think, like I said, I think it'd be great for the NFL for him to make it, because I think they talk about his character, but I just feel like marketing wise, like I think a lot of kids would love to have a Murray jersey. You know, just sometimes it has you know, they like winners, man. You know what I mean? For us to be having a discussion about Jalen Hurts right now, and you know what I mean, like they like winners, man. Like, and I think Kyle Murray would be great, but got to get there, man. 7 years, that's crazy.
And they're what made the playoffs like twice?
I couldn't even remember that they did. That's what's crazy.
Because I know once because I remember they had that Monday Night Football game,
and they backed in
that first when they remember, because I think that was the first year they started doing the Monday Night Football games on for the playoffs. And I think they had a game then, but I don't remember because I know they had lost. Because I don't think because Calaveras never won a playoff game. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, of course. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting though. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. And then, like you said, San Francisco, how they kind of bounce back. You know, when they bounce back after a bad last year. Which I think a lot of it, like you said, injuries, you know, you losing like Ayuk, and then also you pretty much lost Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he, you know, so you know, a team that was really short, that was on, you know, as far as potentially winning a Super Bowl and then kind of fall from that. And that's one thing too, where we look at those like the Super Bowl hangover is real, like in most cases. So that's kind of interesting now seeing like Kansas City. You know, potentially where they at.
Yeah, but the thing about Kansas City, the last time they lost in the Super Bowl, they bounced back and then they bounced.
They lost. Remember they lost Cincinnati in the in the conference AFC championship game. Yeah. And that's I think it's gonna happen this year.
My bad. Go ahead, Coach. My bad.
Oh no, you good. Yeah, I said that's gonna happen. That's what I was saying. Like I don't think they're gonna similar to what happened in 2021, then going into 2022 when they lost. But yeah.
I wrote that down too because I had with some of the stuff I was looking at, they were saying, and this is the 49ers. They were saying how tired, like a lot of the players that was hurt was saying that it was, I think Trent Williams said it was like fatigue. They were very fatigued, like because they had so many hard games in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And maybe it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a real thing, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you think about it. You playing 17 regular season games and you playing essentially 3 games potentially. So it's like, well, I don't know if San Francisco is number 1 seed, but you got to think about it. That Super Bowl was either that game 20 or game 21. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, you got to think to yourself, that's a grind. That's why this whole thing of like trying to expand to 18 games to me makes 0 sense whatsoever because it's just like it makes 0 sense to do that. Like it's just you add more wear and tear to your body. That's in my personal opinion, that's unnecessary.
It is. It's unnecessary. Right. Then they also aren't they going to have them in multiple international places?
Because they're talking about he wanted to have 16 international games a year at one point. Yeah. Which
how many games they got? Oh, how many games they got now?
Probably, if you sit down and think about it, at least about 6, 7, probably.
And you said he wants 16?
16, yeah. I mean, you think about it. Yeah, I mean, because you think about it. I mean, I know they got games all October. I know November, a few games. And because who's going to? Yeah, that's right. Because we got the two teams that faced off in week 1 are AFC West teams. Kansas City and the Chargers, they going to Brazil to start the season off on September 5th. So yeah, crazy. I mean it's a lot. I mean it's tons of international games this year.
Well, I was thinking of how I was thinking about how the field might be. Like the field might be harder. I mean, I might be tripping, but I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, man, it might be a lot. You know what I mean? You know how each you got turf, you got, you know, like the field might be rough on their body because the atmosphere is different. You know what I'm saying? The weather's different. I mean, people probably don't think so, but that stuff means a lot. Like it's just like when people will play for the Packers in the winter. You know what I mean? That's a different type of cold. You know what I mean? You play the Bills. You know, that's a different type of cold. So I just wonder how, you know, and that's cool. He said Brazil, but then like, you know, how's the weather gonna be there? You know what I mean? Like, how is the field going to be? Like, is it going to be hard? Like, you know what I mean? I might be tripping, but I just feel like it's a lot on the players. But you know, like they say, they get paid the money. You know what I mean? Like, they get paid to do.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta
yeah,
take
it's
care of your
already 7
product.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's 7. So yeah, so I mean, you could definitely see if they probably, you think about it, you just double it, which is gonna happen. I mean, especially if you got an 18-game regular season, you add another week down the line. Yeah, I mean, they got 7 already. Because remember, it started off as 1, like 15 years? Well, now about 16 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost. No, it was 2007. That's God. That's been. Oh, damn, that's almost 20 years.
And you
18 years ago.
I mean, don't you got Thursday games, and don't you got a Friday game or something like that too?
In week 1, so you just got that Kansas City and the Chargers in Brazil on September the 5th. That's the only Friday game they got. But yeah,
Right. So they don't have one for Black Friday this year.
Yeah, I thought they had a Black Friday game.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so yeah, you got that, and then the Black Friday game. I think that's Philly and Chicago. Yeah, that's Philly and Chicago.
Right. I'm just saying it's a lot on a. I mean, I know they trying. I know it's new, and I know that's where it's going to go regardless. But it just seemed like it's a lot, man.
Yeah. Yep.
But hey, entertainment.
Yeah. And it's gonna keep getting more and more because now,
Right.
now and then with the holiday games and all that type of stuff. So, luckily this year Christmas fell on a Thursday, but we had games last year on a Wednesday.
Are you going to the game?
Hell no. No, ain't no way. You think about it, like people was asking, thinking we should go. I'm like, no. You think you're not gonna be home for Christmas? Like, you think to yourself, it's gonna be an all-day thing. The game's at 1:00. All right. By the time you leave the stadium at 4-5 o'clock, it's going. You're not gonna be home for Christmas. And even though we don't do nothing for Christmas, we do stuff for Christmas Eve. But no,
right.
You think I'll be stuck in traffic for Christmas? Hell no!
This is why this is the greatest show. Because when he hit that high note, no, and then he put it out there. He told the truth though.
No, sir. Because you think about it, because the last game I went was in December. We didn't get home like 8 o'clock. Now the game was at 4. The game was at 1 o'clock, and we didn't get home until 8 o'clock. That's how bad it was. So just imagine how it will be on Christmas. Because you got people that's gonna be traveling just regularly, and then you got people going to that game. Nope. I'll watch it on Netflix in some comfy pajamas and some slippers, eating some cookies. Because I know Santa ain't coming. So
with an ugly sweater on or something like a commander.
Oh, yep.
Man, you are funny.
Nope, we're not doing that. Nope.
Do you think they should move it from DC and put it like Charlottesville or Front Royal or something like that? Like something just out of the city
for Christmas?
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying it's even though they still the DC, but put it on maybe on an outskirts somewhere, so it'd be easier so it won't intertwine with that traffic.
I know they were thinking about putting it in
Manassas.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping everything goes well tomorrow with the vote, and it's gonna go back to DC at RFK, because that's what the thought is. That more likely that the bill gonna pass for us to go back to RFK, which that'd be right in the heart of DC. Which I think, regardless of wherever you go, it's gonna be traffic. Even though FedEx is a nightmare to get out of, it's a nightmare. So yeah, you still have some problems, but I think FedEx just presents itself sometimes. You're like, because if you're trying to get out right at the end of the game, just sit in your car. Have a blanket, pack a lunch, pack a dinner. Because you ain't getting out there at about 5 o'clock.
He said, "No, behold He said, I ain't gonna have no Christmas. Like, I'll be old, pajamas.
Right.
Eat
You gotta think to
cookies.
yourself, let me chill. Yeah. No way.
I've been waiting all day to ask you that question too, because I saw it. I said,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
Christmas game in DC.
No.
They talk about halftime show. They want some type of go-go man and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if he's going.
It's gonna be too damn cold to be doing anything. This ain't Houston when you have Beyonce. Nah, it's gonna be like 20, 30 something degrees in the sun. Nope. Nope.
Y'all playing the Cowboys too, right?
Yeah. And you know them tickets gonna be crazy. Nope.
Yeah, don't let the Cowboys be having success. Everybody had them dirty cowboy jackets come out of nowhere.
Oh, they'll be out there.
Dusty cowboy starter jackets.
They'll be out there in full force. But hey, good luck to you. Ain't no hand warmers, feet warmers in the world can cure that. How cold it's gonna be in December in DC and where in Maryland? No.
He said it's gonna be cold.
Hell yeah! You think about it. I've only experienced one warm Christmas, and that's it.
That is so funny.
Yeah, it's never gonna be. It's never gonna be that. Nah. Yeah, man. So this wraps up the West. So next week we'll be talking about the South. We'll be talking about the Indianapolis Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Houston Texans, and the Tennessee Titans. A lot of rookies in intrigue in that one. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter as well, and then we'll talk about the NFC South. Where we have we have the NFC South, where we'll be talking about the Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. So that ought to be interesting. Kellen Moore. We'll talk about Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints next week, and a lot of fun stuff next week. So, yeah, man. So this wraps up the West preview, and we'll catch you guys same time next Wednesday for the South. And we out.
You're welcome.
Peace out.